My guest today, John Meyer, Assistant Principal of the Middle School in Waupaca. Nice to meet you, sir.
Thank you for having me.
How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you.
Awesome. Give me a little background. How long you been in Waupaca? And
It's my first year in Waupaca as the assistant principal. Prior to this, I have 20 plus years of teaching, 8th grade science. I was in Nina. And
oh, that's not too far away.
nope. And my wife's a teacher, and we live in between Winneconne and Waupaca.
Okay, so you're familiar with the area then?
Yes. Yep.
Excellent. What brought you here? Besides a better job.
Well,
I would assume it's a better job.
Yes. Well, it's something I've always dreamed of.
Oh.
So I've had my degree in administration for a long time and curriculum degree as well. And when I had kids, I just wanted to wait until my kids were older because I know it's a time commitment. And so I just wanted to take time to make sure the time was right for the family. And when I was researching and looking for a job, I saw the Waupaca position, and I just thought it was a great fit, and I got lucky enough to get hired and be here now.
You heard it here. Dreams come true.
Yes.
You got to work hard.
Oh, yes.
All right. We have a serious conversation today. Serious subject. Vaping.
Vaping.
I haven't heard much positive about it. A lot of negative lately.
Yes.
Some people passing on to the other side. And so I want to remind people that middle school here
Yes.
I was telling you beforehand, when I grew up, middle school was 7th and 8th grade. So by the time you were done, you're going to high school in 8th,
Correct.
Here, it starts in 5th grade.
5th grade.
So that's like, do the math, I'm thinking 10, 11 years old.
Yeah, around 10. Yep. That's
Okay.
put an age on it.
How big of a problem, or is there a problem here? Is it like epidemic proportions, or...
Well, there's small groups, and you're always facing not just that, the environment that we focus on, and just, focus on education. Making sure people are aware of what's going on and what you're putting in your bodies for health's sake. And it could be multiple topics we could talk about. It just,
Right.
Lately it's more of the vaping in the middle schools and the scare we have for the health of the kids.
Okay, how many cases, or what? How prevalent?
Well, I mean, if you're talking about how many we caught or how many's going on, just in December alone, we caught 8 just in December.
Okay.
Some repeat offenders, of course, and also, we've had some cases, and it's starting to, find its way a little bit bigger. So we just want to make sure we educate the youth on what could be the problem or what could happen to them if they continue.
Do you think this is I would imagine at that age, it's a peer pressure type of thing. You're trying to fit in, you're trying to find your way.
Experimentation, fit in.
Yeah.
It's the same as it's been in years past.
Yeah.
And that it's just...
I mean, when I grew up, you had to have the Nike shoes and the 501,
Yep.
Levi blue jeans, and then you smoked the cigarette and you snuck the whatever behind the garage.
I don't think it ever changes of what history has shown us till the present. It's just some of the...
It's a matter of what's available.
And what's available, and again, how we actually, how we make it. I guess that's the scary part of what's in the stuff that we don't know about, which is causing more harm, I think, than the stuff we had in the past.
Okay, what's the program you have in place? If say I'm in 7th grade and you find me vaping, in the restroom or wherever.
Right, and what we focus on in the middle school, which I believe in the middle school, is more of a preventative measure. In education. Just giving a kid a punishment and detentions and just citations for it, because it is a board policy that we have to follow. How do we prevent it? How do we educate them? So if somebody was caught with vaping, we're working with, I'm working with the nurse and Officer Zuby and everything, and the police to kind of just come up with a preventative program. So they watch a video and have my curriculum background. I want to develop a 5-day class of, half an hour chunks that they work on, and just,
A 5-day class about vaping?
Yep, after school. And so it'll be like,
wow.
Well, and it's not just all about vaping. It's like,
Right.
Build a relationship with the kids, and show a video of some science behind it, of, what it is and what's happening. And then, stop it from going further or stop other stuff in the future, and just really put that health part out there and just teach them the health of what they're doing. It's their decision in the long run.
So if I get caught the first time,
Yes.
Is there a fine and a detention as well?
There is an automatic citation given. Yep. So that's just the policy, and everything happens with tobacco or vaping and everything else. It's a policy that
How much is a citation?
$200.50 for the first citation.
I can't afford that now.
Exactly.
Oh, Dad would be mad.
Yeah. So what we're
I'd imagine a fifth grader doesn't.
well, yeah, and parents do get upset about this. And so how do we prevent that ticket from actually happening? And this is where the class started coming up. So if they come in, and it's not 5 consecutive days. It's just they take this short class and they watch a video, they read an article, and we just reflect on it.
What's the feedback been so far?
The staff is really supportive. I know the school board is very supportive. Some of the kids have, when they watch the video, different responses. They're like, yeah, it's good. It's good science. Some of them are not going to change their habits with the video, but we haven't been able to fully put in the implementation of class because we're still developing it.
Okay.
But I've had students volunteer to help develop the class.
Excellent.
And that's the best part, is because it's going to be student driven, not just administration, teacher driven.
And you're not just saying, don't do this, because if you do that, human nature, you want to do it.
Well, and what have you taught them?
I mean, part of growing up is falling down.
Right.
Sneaking in late to curfew and
Right.
Whatever.
Right.
Kids will be kids.
Yeah.
So I think, adults will be adults too.
Well, right.
But I think the education part, instead of just saying, don't do that,
Right.
and here's your fine, well, I would be, now I'm going to do it more.
Right. And that's where hopefully we can get a couple, because it is, when you get into the high school, the fines and the consequences are going to be higher, especially if you're in the athletics or sports with the athletic codes.
Okay, you don't work in the high school, but I would imagine you have a good relationship with the folks in the high school.
Yes.
Is there a lot of vaping going on there?
Yeah, I think we're reaching a part where how it was marketed and, the different types of vaping were out there. Interested kids with flavors, but now you hear the law, you hear them cracking down on what they can do with that type of flavoring with the vapes.
Okay, now I'm going to go off on a little bit of a tangent because I don't get it. We have an FDA or an FFDA, Federal Food and Drug Administration, something.
Oh, yeah.
When I was growing up, the Trix Rabbit, Lucky Leprechaun, Fred Flintstone, Cap Crunch, all selling me cereal.
Yep.
All the time.
Yep.
Now they can't advertise.
Right.
Except Tony the Tiger. He must have a fat wallet.
He got to have something because see him on TV.
He's still on. So what I think they did is they said, well, we'll add that one more little ingredient, or we'll take that one little ingredient out to get through the loophole.
Yes.
And he's got a big wallet.
Right.
Because I'm a firm believer, actually, that every law, whether it's passed or not passed, is because somebody's making money.
Well, that's the bottom line.
And it's not going into my account. Mm-hmm. I mean, I didn't check it today, but I'm pretty sure there wasn't a direct deposit.
Right.
So I don't understand how these kind of products get on the market in the first place. And energy drinks, you got the 64 ounce.
Yeah.
I'm not going to name them because I don't want to promote them.
Right.
But you get the 64 ounce can, and the warning label is the whole can.
All the way around.
If you have heart disease, if you have epilepsy, if you're pregnant, if you're 5'7" and want to breathe tomorrow, don't drink this. But somehow, and they advertise too because one of them gives you wings.
Yeah.
So it's all hypocrisy, I think.
There's a lot of strategy to what they do. And when they, even the Food and Drug Administration, when they put that stuff off the FDA, as long as you're under a certain percentage per serving size, they consider it not dangerous. But how many serving sizes does it take now to have that bad chemical in your body? And with the tobacco company, losing ground in the older ages because of the health conditions, they needed another market. And so the flavoring and changing the flavoring and making it more appealing kind of attracts the younger generation right now.
Well, everything starts small, whether it's a law. I'll give you an example. Car seats.
Yep.
great idea. My car seat was my dad's arm.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm still here, thank God.
Yep.
Great idea. Then all of a sudden, and I'm going to paraphrase, okay? It's got to be in the back seat. Mm-hmm. Now, it's got to be in the back seat turned around. So the benefit of that is if you hit a tree, great, and the kid's throwing Cheerios at the back window instead of your head. Mm-hmm. But I don't see the benefit of that if a semi comes over your trunk.
Right.
So that leads me to everything gets bigger.
Right.
Meaning I'm a smoker, and I have a vape. It's basically looks like this pad.
Yep.
Okay. I use it like twice a year, maybe when I'm in a 18th floor hotel when I want to go to bed and I don't feel like getting into the elevator and I want to relax for a minute. Now, these things look like the super soaker, water guns, and you load them with this whatever.
Juice
you know more about it than I do.
Juice and pods, and they load them up, yeah.
I also, and I don't know, you may not know, I also heard there's some that you can get with THC.
Yes. And, some are nicotine, some are just flavored, and some have THC. So there's another, now what are we introducing into our schools and our programs? And so it's...
So let's get back on track here.
Yeah.
What's second offense?
The second offense we're still working on, and that would just be another citation. Right now, we're just trying to lay the foundation.
Oh, so this is a brand new...
This is a brand new thing. It's not out there, and it's just...
You have to realize vaping basically just started half a dozen years ago.
Right.
And now all of a sudden, bigger, badder, bolder.
And now they're trying to put restraints on it. And I'm always a firm believer of, to teach the kids, to teach everybody around you.
There should have been restraints before they came out.
Well, right. And it was wide open, the age limit. And, we all know how age limits work on certain things.
Right.
And I just think at the age of the middle school, and I've been doing it for, like I said, 21 years, it's what do we do to help educate and do a prevention model? And not just keep it just for the kids who vape, but use it in other classrooms for other lessons along the way.
I was going to bring that up.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a plan possibly to implement part of this program into your regular like health class or something like that?
Yeah, they do. And I'm working with them because right now some of our teachers, science teachers, ELA teachers, are having kids read articles and reflect on that. And our health teachers are talking about vaping and all the other, drugs and health. Drugs, alcohol, and out there and they're in the health field. So they're getting exposed to them in multiple ways. Mm-hmm. This is kind of like just, hey, how do we actually keep it consistent to what we're saying? And then once we build the foundation, not just keep it for 5-8, but kind of still work with the high school to build the complexity. So, and then educate, the community. I'm not looking to say,
no,
here
vaping.
It is. Right. It's just, let's educate everybody around it for the dangers of it and to make sure that we are doing our part to help, the community and society say, it's your choice, absolutely. But here are the health risks.
Especially when you're an adult.
Right.
Once you're an adult,
Yeah.
But we've given you the information.
Right. Yep. And it just, when I see these kids, is it an influence? Is the peer pressure? And how easy can it, you get hooked on something? I just want to make sure we're doing our part, to keep the kids safe.
Well, it definitely sounds like you are.
We're doing our best.
Yeah. So, when do you think the whole program will be in place? Is that a goal for 2020?
Our goal is to kind of have it all written out and laid out on what we do. Next year will be full implementation of it next school year. So I'm hoping by spring break when we're in March that I'll have I'm the curriculum guy. So I like writing and not just here's a video. I want to really create some meaning to it. And so hopefully I'll be able to work with the nurses and work with the police officers and work with the students and some parents and really create a good, well-rounded presentation in class, not just watch a video, click on it, and say you're done.
Well, that's great because I remember driver's ed, they show you the video. Don't drive fast. As soon as you get your license, you're like, peel out.
Exactly.
Like I said, I saw the videos on smoking.
Yep.
Guilty. Sorry.
Right.
So.
Yep. Everybody has their own choice.
Yeah. Anything else you want to cover today?
No, I appreciate everything. Give me the opportunity to speak what we're doing at the middle school.
Well, I
and
think
the-
it's a
the district.
great thing. I'm definitely not an advocate of vaping or smoking, especially in 5th through 8th grade.
Yeah.
That's much too young. Your lungs are still developing. Your brain is still developing.
Right.
Everything is still developing, and you're putting, but we don't even know what it is.
Correct.
Into your system.
Yeah, and being a
And
science,
that's not a good plan.
no, and being in science, I mean, like you said, you're still growing mentally, brain capacity, and everything else is still growing. And so, what chemicals are we putting in our body that's going to alter our health, our development, our lungs, and our brain? And we can see some long-term effects on that. So, it just again keep the kids and community aware of what the risks are.
Well, thank you very much for coming in.
You're
great.
welcome. Thank you for having me.
Great meeting you. Great talking to you. And hopefully, we'll talk about another subject.
Absolutely.
Some
Anytime.
other time.
Absolutely. Anytime you want to have me.
Community Conversation. I'm Wayne, FM 96.3, Waupaca Radio.